All right, everyone, all rise. San Andreas District Court for Dimitri and Jackson versus LSPD now in session. The Honorable Judge Nolans will be presiding.
Have a seat.
Who the fuck is that?
Shut up, Bert.
Quiet in the courtroom, please. All right. Are both the parties ready to proceed?
Yes.
Correct. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we are here today to go over Dimitri and Jackson versus the LSPD. Do both parties have opening statements that they would like to share with the court?
Can you repeat that, please? I'm so sorry.
Do both parties have opening statements that they would like to share with the court?
I have an opening statement, Your Honor. The defense does, at least.
Does it, Mr. Wilkes, you have an opening statement?
My client would like to explain.
I'm in here.
It is right there.
For them to talk on the Discord.
Sorry, what question was that?
Wait, are we supposed to be talking about do Discord yet?
Yes.
I don't have the option. It's not letting me.
Oh. Can someone grant him the option?
Yeah. It's the DOJ Discordia. Don't worry, they're fixing at this.
Okay, thank you.
You were waiting to talk China. It should work.
Radon, you might have to disconnect and then reconnect.
Hello, you guys? Okay, yeah. So
Yep.
sorry.
I can hear you, Mr. Boone. Yep, loud and clear. And we just need Mr. Wilkes to be able to speak.
It's not working. Disconnect and reconnect.
Okay, we're good.
There we go. Wonderful. All right. So one of your clients has something to say to the court as an opening statement?
Yes.
All right. Which one is it? Noah or Charles?
It is Charles.
All right. Charles, if you would like to step up and provide your opening statement.
Oh. Damn, she died.
All right, citizens of Los Santos, in the courtroom. Today, me and my brother were violated and injured. Injured while in police custody. They say they're for the people, but I assure you they are not. And we will prove that today. As you can see, I am still injured from this incident. So, y'all have a good day.
Thank you. All right. Just for the sake of the record, what damages is your client seeking, Mr. Wilkes?
He is seeking money for injuries as well as they had issues like it's mostly just injuries today
Can you
for all three.
Can you be more specific with those?
Such as back injuries, him like as him flying into the traffic pole you'll see later today, and he had a couple wrist damages, bruises, and things of that nature.
Okay. And how much are your clients seeking in damages today?
We're seeking 1.5 million today.
Okay. All right, thank you. So we can now begin with any sort of evidence presentation. If we would like to start with some witnesses, so we can get started with questioning. Each one of you who has a witness, Mr. Wilkes, do you have any that you would like to present to the court that you would like to question?
I think the officer that was had Noah in the back seat.
So keep in mind, both of the officers are unable to make it due to issues outside of the city. So it is just me, the lawyer representing.
Yeah, and we have, and I know that Scotty has a written statement that was signed,
Yes.
a sworn
Yes.
statement.
Yes.
So I know that Mr. Foon also has that as well. So I will be taking a look at that later. Do we have any witnesses, any other witnesses, physical witnesses that could come up to the stand at this time from either party?
Charles or Noah can go up and
Okay.
say what happened.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Noah, you may please step up and sit to my left.
Okay, Your Honor. So, upon being taken custody by LSPD, I was never once buckled in. As I'm being transported towards MRPD, I had, an officer hit something in the road and causing me to fly out because I was not buckled in. Upon those injuries, while I was, being helped up, I had the second officer that was assisting officer.
No,
I don't remember.
I need,
I don't remember his officer's name, but
excuse me, excuse me. I need to stop you right there. I need I need either Mr. Wilkes or Mr. Wilkes. Do you have any questions you would like to ask Noah?
Yes. Okay.
Okay,
So
you can please step up and speak to him
okay.
from the podium.
All right. How you been today, Noah?
I've been better. Been better.
Okay. So as you said, you were not buckled in, right? How many times did this happen?
It
Like,
happened 2 times.
okay, 2 times. And was he chasing any people while you like flew out, causing you to fly out?
So another person that was involved that was getting chased informed me after the matter that they saw me that they saw me fly out and the officers left me on the side, chased him down before he was caught, and then they came back to pick me up.
Okay. And before that, did the officer, like, was he going high speeds, anything like that? Did you feel
Yes, Your
that?
Honor. You know, from everything that I could, tell from being in the back, objects were going very, very fast. If I had to take a guess, I would say well over 150 miles an hour.
Okay. And when you flew through the windshield, you hit the traffic sign, right?
Uh, yes, I sure did. I hit the traffic sign, and then, upon the second time flying out, I also hit a street sign.
Okay. That's all I had to ask.
All right. Mr. Foon, do you have any questions that you would like to ask Noah at this
Yes,
time?
I would like to get a chance to cross-examine the witness.
Okay, you may step up.
Thank you so much. So you're Mr. Noah Jackson, correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in this date and time, so you were the one being arrested, correct?
That is correct.
So in this time that you were placed in the back of the Charger that was escorting you to MRPD, correct? Were you aware of the barrier that sits between the from the passenger car to the front, the barrier that sits in the middle of the car, correct, separating the back 2 seats to the front 2 seats? Are you aware of that barrier, sir?
I am not, Your Honor.
All right.
I sat here, and all I know is I was in the back of a cop car, and
So you were in the back of a cop car. Alrighty. So how old are you today, sir? Like, how old are you?
I'm currently 23.
So you would say you're a grown individual, correct? You're a grown man, correct?
That is correct.
So I actually have two witnesses after Mr. Noah Jackson sounded out, or actually three I'd like to present after this that have that are very there are other officers that can assist with the fact that I'm about to ask. So since you are a grown individual, if we are able to go outside and use one of these for visual representation, that would be lovely, your judge if able. So if we take a look at it, we're going to see when you're sitting in the back of the cop car, you're going to have a divider in the middle. It is going to be a solid steel divider, and then you're going to have little slits at it that are it's going to be to dividing that are going to be metal bars and then windows. So in all my years of doing law and all the officers that I've spoke to, I've never heard of an individual that is a grown man being able to go from the back of the car to the front of the car. At most, if something like this were to happen, they will sustain some damages, because they're going to hit the barrier rather than go flying out the windshield. It's very uncommon and very rare. So at most, Mr. Noah Jackson would sustain face injuries, possibly wrist injuries from trying to brace himself for the fall if he was able to, or sorry, the force of the fall that he would hit on the metal barrier. It's hardly, believable that he would get slung out of the vehicle at most. So what I'm
So
pushing for is instead of, trying to sue that, you need to that would be a manufacturer error if you were going through the vehicle completely.
may
So
I
that
ask
would
you a
be a
question?
manufacturer default.
Do you know if your officers inspect your vehicles before their shift?
Yes, they inspect them every time.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay, so we have footage from the highway cameras, and it shows Mr. Noah flying through the windshield, hitting the pole, and landing on the ground. Would you like to see that footage, or?
Yeah, if you have that footage, yes. If you're able to put it on the little,
Okay.
if we can roll out the TV right over there to the right or to the left, and play that'd be lovely.
Yes, we can all take a look at this video together. I'd like to see it myself.
Can you play that back, please? That was pretty fast. Is there any way you can slow down the speed of the traffic cam?
Do you see my client that has been ran over right there? You see that? By chance? Did you see that? He was flown through the windshield and ran over by the vehicle.
Mr. Wilkes, if you also want to further play your footage, it will
Okay.
continue on, the second time.
I'll show you the second time as well.
It will also show
Was
the
this
officer.
also from highway cameras?
Yes. You could see like the up there.
It will also show the officer calling me a vulgar name.
Once he's flown out. Ran over.
Do you have audio for this, Mr. Wilkes?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to turn the audio on and also put it back to normal speed right
Okay.
about now, so they can hear with their officer the vulgar name that I got called. Thank you, Mr. Wilkes.
Can you guys hear that?
Is
No.
there any sound to this?
Yeah, let me try to
I
get
don't
the
hear
sound.
anything.
Okay, let me try to get the sound 1 second. How do I go about sharing audio?
You gotta open up the clip and then share the application instead of the
Okay.
screen.
All right.
Actually, so for a highway camera, how would the highway camera be so distinct for the audio to be that close to hear the officer what he called you?
Well, we're in 2023, sir.
And we're in 2023, but how do we know? Not all cameras are severely up to date.
You see all these light poles, everything up there? Every one of them
Well,
has a camera on it. But we're gonna play the footage. You can just say something after.
Yeah, no, you didn't even buckle me in. I'm suing.
This guy is a vegetable. Did you guys hear that?
Actually,
That's some,
I did not hear
emotional
that.
damage right there. Could be kind of hurtful. Just to keep going now. See what's going on up here. He is under the vehicle now.
Does anyone else hear that sound?
Yes, I do. I have no idea what that is.
Yo, Kumbo, shut the fuck up.
You're good. Disregard that.
I mean, you just gave me help.
He's clocked at 119 going through the city, by the way.
Let me go. Oh!
That's second time again.
I'm gonna wait to talk after so it doesn't echo.
All right, you're good.
So my issue with that is the whole when the officer called the guy on the stand a vegetable. I'm just out of curiosity. How is the cameras able to pick that up? How are they? How are we so sure that the camera is pointing at that angle and able to pick up the words that officer was stating at that time?
Did you just hear it?
Well, yes, but I'm arguing the fact that the camera, the camera, the camera shouldn't pick up that audio. It's there for video purposes, not audio purposes.
Okay. Well, if you want to scratch that, you just saw him fly the vehicle twice.
So
So,
and so
regardless,
in regards of the second matter, I believe if we look, the driver seemed to be headaching, maybe having some brain issues at that time. As you can
he's
see,
he's going 119 through the city, man.
So
I
if
understand what you're saying, but at the same time, if you're having an aneurysm along those lines, it's very hard to deal with the fact that you have to control a car and deal with that. Try to attempt to slow down. You don't have control of it if you're having an aneurysm at that time. So
Mr. Foon, if I may, speak.
Go ahead.
Regardless of headaching, you are also able to control your speed. And the fact that you had an officer clearly going above the speed limit, you guys are supposed to lead by example, protect and serve the community. You guys are not following the laws that you have written as well, that you have pulled many people over for speeding through the city. If that's going to be the case, then your
So
officers need to
in
be
the
retrained.
terms of while we were rushing the second time, we were rushing you to medical, sir, as you sustained damages from the first time after the manufacturer error in the car, because the seatbelt malfunctioned and you flew through the glass
Okay, but
and both of the
it
steel
also
bars.
it also
So
does
we
not
were
stop
rushing to get you to medical. That is
it
the reason for
also
the speed.
okay.
We don't want
The
it.
first
We want
time
to
I flew out,
prioritize your life. We don't want to drive severely under the speed limit to not preserve your life here, sir.
the first
You
time that I before I flew out.
If we also look at the video, his emergency lights were activated.
Okay, I will also say that before I flew out the first time, he was going well over that 119 down the highway, which
I
if
understand
I was
that,
I
but
was in no danger at no point, and I was not medically ill at that time, so he has no emergency to get to.
correct. Yes, I understand that one. But in terms of the second one, he had emergency lights activated. The officers were trying to rush you to medical. So, and he was having an aneurysm. So realistically, you wrecking and the
But he
second
had not.
part should be thrown out because we're trying to get you to medical. He had an aneurysm. So Judge, I'm gonna push to strike the partial end of the video. I'm gonna push to strike that
If
or admit it from court.
if he is not okay to drive, and there's two uh officers in the vehicle, could they not make a quick swap of drivers?
That is up to the officer at hand. As you can see, the guy in the passenger seat was wearing a probationary vest. So typically when we do trainings, we have officers ride along with the other officer for like a duration of time, and then when the probationary officer is comfortable, they will make the transition into the driver's seat, and then they will drive that way.
So just jeopardize the safety of the other civilians around as well.
So question also, what is stopping the officer Griff from pulling over and requesting an additional officer to come handle me if he is having aneurysms?
So aneurysms within the city are very hard to predict. Oh, well,
And
I'm
I,
gonna
and,
have an
and
aneurysm. It's
I understand that, sir, but you also have to understand where I'm coming from on the fact that he could have easily, after the first one, pulled over and requested an additional unit.
So the first one, as you can see, you were slung out of a vehicle due to a seatbelt malfunction and a defect in the car that was made
there is
by
no
Dodge.
malfunction whenever
And you
buckling the car.
stated earlier that you were a grown man, so it is physically
There is
impossible
there
for
is
a
no
grown man
You just
to
watched it
slide through.
happen. You
sir.
just watched it
There is
happen.
no, seatbelt malfunction whenever they never put it on me.
And again,
How are you going to
it
argue with
falls on the
safety?
defect of the manufacturer.
There's
And
not a
how
defect
could a
Since
in the
manufacturer if it's not
manufacturer.
Do
on?
not
The
speak
officer
over each.
doesn't put
Do
me
not
in
speak
So-
put
over
me
each
in a
other.
seatbelt.
Do not speak over each other. One at a time, please.
So I'm stating the defects of the car were made by Dodge. The defects of the car are if he was able to fully slide through, the little slits that allow him, as he earlier stated, that he's a grown man. So that should be virtually unheard of. And the seatbelt.
And I understand that, but you also have to understand that the officer never put a seatbelt on me. That is not going to be a seatbelt malfunction. That's not the manufacturer's doing if the officer alone did not buckle me in. If he buckled me in, what's to say that I don't fly through the windshield? What's to say that,
What's saying you from not flying through the windshield? If the car was made properly, which, when we're granted these cars, we ask them, are these cars, do they pass EPA standards? Do they pass the standards of all the safety and precautions that they go through hours and hundreds of hours of testing? And we are giving those cars. So realistically, if we are told by Dodge that yes, these cars are 100% okay and safe to drive, we can't control that. We are guaranteed a manufacturer, so this is now going to become, you may want to shift your focus into a lawsuit against Dodge, the manufacturer of this vehicle, for essentially lying to us about the safety of this car and if it's unsafe.
Mr. Foon, I'm gonna have to stop you there. So your officer, I don't think you're getting, the question I'm asking. Your officer not putting a seatbelt on me, that is not to do with the manufacturer error. That is due to your officer not, doing his legal duties and not, for the safety of the civilian he had. He had no safety for me at all by not buckling me in. If he had an emergency, he should have had me buckled in, emergency lights on. He should have been, taking me wherever I needed to go. But there was no
So,
seatbelt ever put on me. So you
so
cannot
I,
sit
I
here and
I
try to
understand
push
that,
the
and so
seatbelt
in
manufacturer error.
terms of that, and so in the whole video, or the whole traffic cam video, you can see that his lights were on. So what I can offer you is we can push out a new officer-wide training for all officers to ensure that we are taking the additional extra time to put on the seatbelts.
I mean, you can do that, yes, but you also have to understand that doesn't change what happened here today. That does not change the emotional trauma that I have from getting called a vegetable. That does not change the emotional and physical damages that I occurred during this, incident. That is why we're here today.
I
The
understand
future
that.
is a different story.
Say that again. I'm so sorry.
The future is a different story. We're talking about the incident here today that we have brought to you.
All right. Are we? Should we move on
So,
past this, or do you have
so
more
Judge,
questions?
I'm asking to strike the end of the video to eliminate the second crash.
To eliminate the second crash?
Yes, the first crash we can we can work with, but I'm asking we eliminate the second crash due to the brain aneurysms, the issues that he was having, the headache, and that's unpredictable. Essentially, we're unable to control that issue because it affects everyone in the car.
Due to my safety, though, I was not buckled in for a second time. So
So I can understand the aneurysms that can happen because it's happened to me before. It's something that can happen pretty randomly to anybody at any point in time. And sometimes that can cause mistakes where people can get hurt, and it may not be an issue of who is liable for this. In terms of the seatbelt issue, we could have that as something separate in terms of negligence, but I think for the second crash and aneurysm, I will grant the striking of that from the record.
Thank you, Judge. So moving back to the first particular crash, so in that time, you can see in the short period of the traffic cam that captured it, you were 100% alive and well, and granted your seatbelt wasn't on. That is negligence on the officer's perspective. He neglected to put the seatbelt on, but you flying through the window. Do you, sir? So I'm actually, I'll ask that once you're off the stand. I would like to bring in another witness, but as you as a grown man, do you fully think you were going to fly through that window that is a little, maybe 4 inches and maybe 5,
Mr. Foon,
four.
what I think you need to realize is the speeds that we were traveling, not being buckled in, with a grown man the size of me that weighs the weight that I do, it is not very hard with how things work in
How much do
motion
you weigh,
to
sir?
fly through. How much do I weigh?
Yes.
I weigh 170, sir.
Alrighty, thank you. Your Honor, at this time, I have no more questions for Mr. Noah Jackson.
Okay. Mr. Wilkes, do you have anything that you would like to ask Noah at this time?
No, I do not.
Okay, you can step down, Noah. Mr. Foon, you said you had another witness?
Yes, Your Honor. The defense would like to call Officer 302 of LSPD to the stand.
Who the fuck's 302?
Watch your language. Do not use any vulgar language in my courtroom. All right, you may proceed.
Alright, hello, Mr. 302 Stefan. How are you today?
Not bad. How about yourself?
I'm doing as good as I can do, honestly, sir. So, what role do you play in the LSP in the Los Santos Police Department, sir?
At the moment, I mean, pretty much leading most of the department, trying to get everybody situated in on the streets patrolling.
So, as you saw, or were you able to see the traffic cam footage that Mr. Wilkes produced earlier?
Yes, sir. I saw it.
So, in terms of an officer putting, unable to put a seatbelt on due to negligence, that's a different issue. But you drive these cars every day, correct? You see the ins and outs of these cars, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So you've seen the reinforced steel or the steel that sits in between them, correct?
Yeah.
So what would you
100%.
say the odds of an individual that weighs, about 190 pounds as a grown man, what are the odds of him able to slide through that little slit hole essentially? What do you believe the odds are?
I deem them probably fairly slim. I mean, there's really no chance of grown man is fitting through that little window that we have there.
Alrighty. Thank you. That was all that's all I needed from you, Mr. 302. I will give Mr. Wilkes the opportunity to cross-examine you.
Give me 1 second.
Take your time if you need it.
Okay. All right, how you doing, Stefan?
Good. How about yourself, boss?
Good, good. Okay, so you said it's fairly slim chance to happen, right?
Yeah.
But on the evidence, you watched it happen.
Yeah. I mean, I'll
So,
agree with you there. That did happen. I don't know the likelihood of it happening. I mean, it could be like a 1 in a million chance that it happened, but it did.
yeah, regardless of what chance it had, he flew out the windshield and ran over.
I mean, at the end of the day, he was flown at the windshield. It was officer like Kai-Foon said, it was a neglectful officer that didn't put his seatbelt on. But we also do work with these manufacturers and try to make the safest cars possible for our suspects.
Okay. Well, we understand that, try to make the car safe, all that, but the car not hold up to its test. But the
Yeah.
main idea is that he wasn't seatbelted, he flew through, ran over. That's all we're trying to get through.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I don't
Alright.
think we're necessarily arguing that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Are there any more witnesses that need to be called?
Charles,
Yes.
would you like to step there or anything?
Hell yeah.
So that was Noah Jackson, correct, Your Honor?
The first witness, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Wilkes, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes.
All right, you may step up.
Okay, so, what if it even happened? we were at a store, correct, Charles?
Yes.
Okay. And you were asked questions before you read your rights, correct?
Yeah, they didn't know. They didn't even read me my rights. Like
Okay. So they didn't read your rights.
crazy.
They didn't read your rights at all.
No.
Okay. Okay. And you were put into the vehicle, arrested, all that stuff, and were you put into a cell at all, or no? You were in
Yes,
the
I
car
was.
while.
Yeah, I was put in a cell.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I have for you. That's the question I wanted to ask you, just to make sure everything's good.
Do you have any further questions?
No, you can't have Mr. Foon if you would like.
Okay, Mr. Foon,
Yes,
would you like to cross-examine?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, I would.
All right, you may step up.
So, what is your name, sir, on the stand?
Charles Jackson.
Charles Jackson. So, you were suing the LSPD today because you are stating that they have violated Miranda v. Arizona, correct?
Yes, they have violated my rights.
So, in turn, when you were arrested by the officer and taken, did he ask you any questions?
Yes, he did actually.
What type of questions did he ask
He
you?
said, "Why'd you hit the store?"
Why did you hit the store?
Yeah.
Alrighty. So, this officer I went and spoke to, since he's unable to be here, I have a sworn testimony from him. Judge, can you pull up the sworn testimony since you were given a copy?
Yes, I will do that right now. Give me just a moment and I will send it. Let's see, I'll put it. There, it has been provided.
Alrighty. So if we take a look at the officer's sworn statement, you can see that he never read you your rights because he never asked you anything incriminating to begin with. Meaning the whole point of Miranda v. Arizona is you realistically don't have to be read your rights if you do not get asked any, incriminating questions. So the question is today is you stated you were asked an incriminating question, but a sworn officer of the state stated he did not ask you any incriminating questions.
That doesn't matter. Officers can lie. What do you mean? People lie all the time.
I understand that, but sir, it is, we have a sworn officer statement by,
Just
we
because it's
he
sworn
takes
doesn't mean he didn't lie.
he takes a sworn oath to protect and serve. So, do you have any evidence stating that he asked you this question?
No, because I was put in handcuffs.
You were put in handcuffs.
So how am I supposed to, record
So you
it?
have no witnesses.
Oh, I have a witness.
A witness that was on
Yeah, he
scene
was
to
in
hear
the
this.
car with me, actually.
And who would that be?
That would be Sean Dimitri. He's in this courtroom today.
Can Mr. Sean Dimitri put his hand in the air or identify himself behind us today? Alrighty, thank you. So, I, as as officers of the law, they have been around for many times. They go through specific training to ensure that Miranda v. Arizona is upheld to the full extent of the law. Meaning, if they would like to ask you any incriminating questions, then they realistically would read you your rights.
Yeah,
So
but you said realistically, it doesn't happen all the time. Why do you think that law was created?
that I understand why the law was created. But I feel that maybe someone isn't telling the truth today. And
Well, I mean,
that is why
that's
we're
how
here.
you feel.
You were stating that, Miranda v. Arizona was violated, but I have a sworn officer's testimony stating that nothing was violated. He took you to the jail cell. He explained your charges to you.
Have you seen the report that was written for this too? Cause I was
You said
read it.
you said you were Charles Jackson, correct?
Yes, sir.
So the summary is in the report. Car 2 pulled up from a 1050 and chased down and cuffed. And so
Yeah, what kind of fucking report is that?
Okay, please watch your language, sir.
Language.
So it's very, it's to the point. They,
To
they
the
pulled up.
point. That seems lazy.
They pulled up. If that is deemed lazy by LSPD, they will have to get with the officer. But now we have that car 2 pulled up from a 1050 and chased down, and then you were cuffed, brought into MRPD, and explained your charges, and then jailed. You were given a minimum sentence, a light fine, and you were never asked any incriminating
Oh, wait,
questions.
actually, I was never fined. You might want to read that again.
Well, it shows the recommended fine. I apologize. Sorry.
This is a load of barnacles.
So, realistically, to me, it doesn't seem to me that any
Wait,
rights
I
were
have, I have a
violated or
question for
Miranda.
you.
What's your question?
You ever heard of a dirty cop?
Yes,
So
yes, everyone's
why,
heard it.
if saying this officer's a dirty cop, why would they lie to you when ask that type of question under oath? How do you know this cop isn't a dirty cop and he's helping the criminal side?
So, if you're stating that he is a dirty cop, that would be defamation against the cop, sir.
He doesn't
You are you are damaging his reputation right now if you're
Well,
claiming that he is a dirty cop.
how did I damage your reputation if no one who knows his name?
That would be Officer Scotty.
Yeah, so
You're
you provided his name, not me. I said the
never-
cop.
Yeah, you never asked. You said that cop.
Exactly.
So that cop that you're referencing to, would be Officer Scotty.
Yeah, you're the one that provided his name, not me, sir.
Yes, so you are causing defamation
You're
against Officer
causing
Scotty.
defamation because you
I
said
think
it.
I think we're going off topic here. I think we need to focus back.
Yo, shut the fuck up.
Language, or I will kick you out of this courtroom.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have another witness you would like to call?
Me or the prosecutor?
You.
Negative, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Wilkes, do you have a witness that you would like to call?
No. Charles or Noah, do you have anybody?
Yeah, Dimitri.
Okay, I'm gonna take that as a no.
Dimitri, yes, we do.
Dimitri.
Oh, Dimitri.
Not
Dimitri.
Dimitri.
I heard Dimitri. Okay, Mr. Dimitri, you may take the stand. Mr. Wilkes, do you have any questions for Dimitri?
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right,
next
you can step forward.
How you doing today, Sean? Sean, you there?
Is he able to speak?
No, I'm
If
not
you
able to
can,
speak.
leave the channel and join back.
Okay.
And now I'm able to speak.
There we
Okay,
go.
how you doing today?
Still a bit shaken by the events after it's been so recent.
Okay, okay. Where were you on this day?
I was in
Temporary.
I was in the same place as Charles and Noah.
Okay, okay. And you didn't happen to fly through any windshields or anything like that?
No, I
Right.
did not fly through any windshields.
Okay. So you witnessed all this happen, right?
Yes, I was with them.
What can you say that you saw?
As far I didn't see everything with Noah, but with Noah I know how you with their argument with it's how the manufacturer every cop has to inspect their vehicle before taking it out. They would have noticed the weakened steel, and I was with Charles when we were asked the question without reading our Miranda rights.
Okay, okay. And
And
can you
one more thing, I was also there for the entire chase of Mr. Charles because I was in handcuffs, being drugged around as he chased him.
Okay, so you were he had you in cuffs, he ran you around all over the place, and you were, in cuffs, and he was chasing your friend, correct?
Yes.
So you're being dragged around,
Yep.
basically. Okay. All right.
Mr. Wilkes, we also do have your video evidence.
Yes, we
showing
do.
that as well.
From the yard, there was a few cameras. If I could play that right now.
Where was this taking place?
It was on a construction yard or area thing,
Construction yard.
and there's lights
Was-
everywhere. So
Was it a place that was under
Surveillance.
construction?
yes.
I'm not aware of any video cameras being up at construction sites.
There wasn't, already embedded into the lights.
I don't believe that, Mr. Wilkes.
Okay. Well, I guess that's all the questions I have then.
All right. Mr. Foon, would you like to cross-examine Mr. Dimitri?
Yes.
All right. Come forward.
Is it so? You said Mr. Dimitri is his name. I don't want to butcher.
Sean Dimitri.
Sean Dimitri. Okay, so Sean, as the previous person on the stand stated, you witnessed that officer, that Officer Scotty. You guys are claiming that his rights weren't read, correct?
Correct. My rights weren't read either.
Were you arrested?
Yes.
And what is it? Was it Sean with an N or an M?
Sean, Sean.
Give me just a second, sir. Let me look this up. And can you spell your last name for me?
Dimitri.
Alrighty. So there is no report for that. So my question here today.
So wait, they sent me to prison and didn't even file a report?
You ever
Well,
heard of noise suppression?
all arrest records are public. I just want you to let that be known.
But wouldn't a police officer still be required to write a report on my arrest?
Correct. So I will get to that in just a moment. So what I'm here to ask you is, so what exactly did Officer Scotty, tell to you guys, that was incriminating?
He was looking for a motive. He was asking us why we robbed the store.
If I might add, he was asking questions without having any valid proof that a
Yeah,
robbery
more
even occurred.
So and that question itself, if those rights weren't read to you and you answer those questions, those
we didn't
statement
we did not answer any questions,
yes, but
we
regardless,
were
those
asked.
statements would be inadmissible to court because your rights weren't read. So
Yes.
even if you did answer those, they can't be used against you. So in a way, your rights technically were not needed to be read because even if you did decide to answer the question, which you just stated you decided to not answer the question.
But he still was asking us questions without reading us our rights.
And did you answer those questions or did you not?
I'm saying we were in custody when he was asking us these questions. It wasn't like we were out on the street or anything. We were
Ye-
in custody in the back of a cop car.
So, but this all boils down to you stated that you didn't answer any of his questions, even though you weren't advised to your rights. So those questions that would be asked are inadmissible. So realistically, the Miranda v. Arizona wouldn't apply to this. So that should be, that doesn't apply. You said it yourself that you declined to answer. So essentially you would be on your Fifth Amendment. You don't have to speak by law. You don't have to speak. And you stated you didn't answer. So Miranda v.
But
Arizona
they
would
cannot ask me questions while I'm in custody without reading me my rights.
you're able to you can
They cannot ask me any questions directly while I am in custody without my rights being read.
How do you become a prosecutor?
give me just a second. I actually just found his arrest report.
Oh my gosh, did the officer just write it?
It wasn't just written. We were actively trying to find it. I'm so sorry, Your Honor. Give me just a second.
Can we
Driver report,
yeah,
can you
can
see how late it was?
can we see the report of the actual date that this report was made?
Yes.
I'd like to see that as well.
Yes, I'm trying to pull that up.
Yep, take your time if you need to.
Hello?
Hello?
You guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, I apologize. I don't know what happened. Can you guys see everything here?
Yeah.
Give me just a moment.
Yes.
Is someone
So
fishing?
if we take a look right here on the on the left side, you will see incident numbers, IDs essentially, and
Mhm.
then on the right here it says name, charge, and the date 7/9/2023, which would be 4 days ago. Sean, and then how do you pronounce your name? Dimitri.
Mm-hmm.
So here's your arrest report. Sorry about that, sir. You say it was stated that you robbed a store and fled in a purple Charger with 3 other people, then flipped after running and got out of the car and was on foot and was caught. You were sentenced to additionally 20 months, and then you were given 15 because you were waiting in the cell. Is that correct?
No, that is not correct. I was given 5 months because I was waiting in the cell for so long. Everybody else that was with me had already served out their sentences before I even got sentenced. And they kept me in handcuffs in my cell the entire time, as I was not able to eat food or water. I was never offered food or water. I'm saying I almost starved to death because they were negligent of me.
I do want to make a comment that I do have a problem with the. I mean, his name is there, but not in the
Yeah,
initial
understand.
chart.
I
Yeah,
see.
yeah, because I've seen that with a few reports as well, which, I'm a little picky on that. But
So could be a fake report.
Also, on top of that, if I may speak, Your Honor.
yes,
So it says in the report that, we were charged with, robbery. Is there any evidence that any of us had anything illegal on us to even charge us for robbery? Because whenever, officers rolled up, we were all sitting on a car out front of the store. The officer tried to tell me that he was going to hit me with robbing until, 'cause he said that there is cameras inside the store and that they got fingerprints. Let alone none of us were ever seen inside the store. None of us were ever in the store. And the officer then told me he was going to throw that charge out because he had no evidence. So if there is no evidence of us robbing a store, why did Mr. Dimitri here get charged with robbery?
that would be an entirely separate case altogether, because we're here
Let's go.
we're here for Miranda rights violation and negligence. So if there's a way that you can correlate those two, you'll have to take care of that by another means.
Your Honor, is there any way we are able to adjourn court for about 5 to 10 minutes for a recess?
Can we finish up my questioning? I have
I
some to do out of city.
I have no more further questions from you. I'm just requesting a 5 to 10 minute recess.
Well, we don't have any more witnesses from us after.
Is there a reason for the recess?
I'm going to discuss with the local office or the O2 and O3 about a potential settlement and other things. So I would request a recess so maybe we can try to settle this.
We can take a 5-minute recess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Radon, can we go speak to you?
Oh my gosh. What is happening outside? I've kind of come to a conclusion with this already. I've taken notes as well, so we have. So I've taken notes. So Charles, not Rick writes, although the prosecution does make a point that even if the rights were violated and were not, and if they did answer those questions, or even if they didn't, they would still not be admissible in the court because that, you know, until they're read their rights, anything would not be admissible. So sorry, I'm like getting jumbled here. The next thing I have is yeah, the assumption of dirty cop. Strike second crash. Then I put negligence of seatbelt because that still does pertain to the case. Dimitri, not red rights as well.
Hey, real quick.
Yep.
Hello.
Yeah.
Are they actually? I mean, they're wanting 1.5, but there's just
Oh no, there's no way. There's no way.
as far as I know, but I'm just saying as far as
We also don't want to
putting a
kind of
max to stuff because that's kind of like economy breaking. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've already come up with a sum that they're gonna get is nowhere near. So like
Okay, just to
it's
max
pretty
out.
it's pretty low. So
Yeah, well, maybe like for future, we'll just like
The
we
high
can all come up with like you and us, and I mean we can come up with like every court case is like a max or something, just because it's like, oh, you walk out here with 1.5. I mean, you're
yeah.
fucking.
Oh no.
there's no way.
When I saw that, I'm like, no, there's no way.
I mean, regardless, they wouldn't get it anyways because there's
no,
just
they're
no
not.
way.
No, and
But
plus
I mean, as far as this
I
court
mean,
stuff goes, but as far
yeah.
as like economy breaking, like we just can't do that. But as far as this, I mean, they wouldn't get it anyway. So
Oh yeah.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to touch base with you on that real quick.
Oh
so.
yeah. Don't worry. You know, I got it handled. Don't worry.
Cool. All right,
I mean,
we're gonna get back to
prosecution has done really well anyway with striking
Mhm.
some things out from what they're claiming. So
well,
there's
we're
only-
gonna go out there and continue with our talk about what we're gonna do here.
How much money roughly, so I can go get money from the bank?
right now I have it at 30K. Just 30. But I'm thinking of
How
at
about
least
like 75 per person? I think that's a fair number to where it's not like completely time wasting, but it's still a decent sum.
I
I
was
was
gonna
thinking like
I was
I
going
was
to
thinking like a max would be like 500K to be honest. Like any court case.
are
But
we
this one's
are
not
we
like a terrible one.
are we speaking generally or what are we talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah. Like economy wise, I'd say that's probably the max we'll set it at for someone to win. But there's two of them, so I mean, not
Okay,
per person, not per person.
Okay, can I have that in writing just in case I forget?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. What were you
So-
saying, Gio? Sorry.
Tell you, what are you thinking? Maybe 100K per person, and
100K per person as the maximum?
no, not
Oh.
well, no, like for this case in particular.
No, I don't think. No, I don't. With circumstances.
We'll see what they say. We'll come to them with a price, and then yeah, we'll just have to.
Well,
cut it off
they're gonna highball it 100%, and then our lawyer's gonna counter offer. So it's more so.
Yeah, I think 100K max, if that.
Yeah.
Why don't you sidebar both the lawyers?
Yeah, if they if they could sidebar if they wish to do that.
Well, just so we could get this all sorted out without
like let them know, like, hey, this is what we have to do. Because let me go grab them.
Okay. I mean, if there's a way to settle it, then that's fine. Because I mean, I was gonna give them a lower amount from what they were seeking just based off of the evidence. So.
I just don't want to have him stuck on. Oh, hello.
You needed to speak to me?
Yeah.
Yes. What was it about?
Yo, bitch.
So it was having to do with this case. Gio and I
Tom
were
said-
talking about this too. So and
Okay, so
Tay,
both
Say that shit,
yeah, so
go
both
on
both you
Discord.
guys are the prosecutor. So realistically, like 1.5, there's just no way that's breaking the economy. So like
Okay.
out of
No, it's because there's 3 of us. So
Yeah, but
Yeah,
only
but
two
that's
people
still
are
that's
listed.
yeah, but
Only
that's
2 people
okay.
are listed on the docket. So is there a maximum that each
yeah,
defendant or each?
each 100K.
Individually, 100K.
Each 100.
Okay,
Could we do
so
could we do 150 for everybody?
no,
No.
it's 100K. So this
Oh,
is what we're
max.
prepared to offer. We're prepared to offer 40,000 for
Hold
Mr.
on, hold
Char.
on. We're not doing
Oh,
that. We're not talking
Oh.
about that right
No.
now. That's the way. This
Oh.
is like this is not within
Okay.
RP. We're talking
Oh,
about
okay.
government official like
Oh,
government stuff that we're
okay.
Trying not to
because
destroy this
realistically,
service
yeah, but
economy.
exactly, we can't destroy it because if we gave you guys 1.5 mil, I mean, you guys
Yeah, we would
be,
already be set.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
so that's the
like
thing.
100K really ain't shit. So sorry, it ain't nothing. So we're kind of dealing with it.
We
like
also
that.
don't want to make
Yeah.
it a habit where everyone and their mother
Yeah,
just starts
and we're gonna
suing
like,
just
talk
because they
together
can.
after this court as well, and kind of set like a cap that you can sue for in general.
Yeah, we
'cause,
didn't we didn't really know how to portion it because there's like so many of us. And,
Yeah,
but there's only like
500K
2
a
evidence.
person is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so so 100K a person is max for this case. For
Okay.
this case.
Okay, if I explain that to
Whether
them.
whether you get 100K, I mean, I can go explain it to them. They'll understand because
Okay.
it's like right now we're not within. You know, we're talking about
Oh
we're
yeah.
not within the RP right now. We're just
Yeah.
telling you, whatever. All right. So yeah, we'll do that. Whether you guys get max or not, then I mean we're still gonna discuss. You guys still go discuss what you guys want with them, but
Okay.
I'll go over there with you and tell them that that's realistically all we can do
Alright.
as far as so it's not
All
economy
right.
breaking.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, of
go
course.
to. I'll be in touch. All right. Thank you, Judge.
Yep. You guys still need time for recess, right?
Yeah, because we have to discuss that. And I
Yeah,
believe
that's
they need
fine.
to discuss it as
Yeah,
well.
just let me know when it's over. Okay. Okay, I can go over my notes still with you guys. So, let's see. So we have camera did not pick up audio. I have that there because usually security cameras only pick up video. Unless we're talking about high-tech cameras, which I don't think so in Los Santos, I don't think so.
Everyone left.
Oh, yeah. They went outside somewhere.
Okay.
Okay, so the next thing I have is I have manufactured defect as a question mark. Now that could technically be relevant, but which I could mention, but I'm technically we're talking about just the seatbelt. So if the seatbelt wasn't put on the suspect, then like there is some negligence there. Witnessed the crash. Oh, Stefan witnessed the crash and the running over of the individual, which I believe was Noah. Yeah. Yeah, then there was, I can scratch that out because I put no report for arrest, but it was found. And I do have, so the way that I'm thinking about this, if they don't settle, the way that I'm thinking about it is, I feel like that there should be compensation despite what the prosecution was saying about Miranda rights. I think it would be more of a lesson that, hey, remember to do this. So I think that some compensation could be granted for them for not doing the right protocols. And then for the damages to being flown out of the window a couple times, at least the first time, I think that 30,000. So I could see a total of maybe $45,000, probably 15,000 for the Miranda rights violation, and then, or at least not really the violation, but more so just a compensation and more of a lesson, like, hey, be sure to do your.
Mr. Wilkes, are you able to speak to me?
Yes.
Can you come inside of the courtroom?
Oh, my bad.
But yeah, I was, if they don't settle with the amount together, yeah, I think like 45 45,000, or I could probably grant, actually I can grant Charles and no, not Charles, all the money. For Charles and Dimitri, I can grant them.
There.
Oh, hello.
Alright, so they're like 1.5 between three of us, and we're gonna give some to the attorney. I'm just like,
That's
oh,
too.
there's
That's
no
too
way.
much. That's too much.
Yeah. So, and then they're trying to say 750 split 4 ways, and I'm like,
No.
they're trying to argue with me about it. So, let's just say,
I mean,
I'm not.
the amount I was gonna give him anyway was like way lower. So like,
Yeah.
you know, I was
Let's
gonna.
just.
Do you want
Yeah,
to?
they're
Do you want to hear my?
expecting a lot more.
Do you want
Yeah,
to
go
hear
ahead,
my
go
offer?
ahead.
I mean, they gotta accept it. You know, if I say it to him. So,
Alright.
so for Noah, I was gonna give compensation for him for flying out of the windshield, 30,000, and then for both Charles and Dimitri, like even though the prosecution kind of went in the direction that it would be inadmissible, I still think in terms of protocol there should be compensation for them, since
Yeah.
the cops weren't really doing their due diligence that they should
would-
have, and it was going to be
would say-
15,000 each. So for those two.
Okay, I think that's a little too less. You know what I mean?
You
For
think
something
so?
like this, yeah. I get the whole economy thing, but I think we can pull a little bit more than that. You know, because
Okay.
I can see logs, and it's
Maybe-
not like everyone's making a shit ton of money.
Maybe
But I
could
would just say max.
maybe double it for all that I was going to offer. Maybe like
So
30, like
so the 30
60,000 for Noah,
I would-
then
I would
30,000
say-
for each of the other two.
So just go back and forth with them, like RP it out. But I would just cut it off at like 75K, or like
75K and split it amongst each other, or
well, they got to do the attorney too. So let's do 75K for the one who gets the most, and then like maybe, I mean, you can even do almost to 100 because they do got to pay the attorney.
okay. What I can
So-
do is Noah can do 75, and then
The other two maybe 50.
50. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
50.
maybe 45. 45.
That's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
whatever you want to accept based on everything, because that
Okay.
is true. They're but
Are we able to go OZ?
Yeah.
What's up? Okay, Wilkes
So-
started off here.
You guys were talking about the whole what we brought to you, officer. You know that offer we brought to you guys, and we were seeing if that is an okay offer.
The 1.5.
No, not the 1.5, not the 1.5.
the 750, honestly, probably not even that. So
Even as first, even if it's 200, and then
yeah, for a city star now, like why would we even
You'll
know,
blow
even
the
do that
economy, you'll
much?
blow it out of
the
the
economy is already.
Yeah, but people don't have over 500K realistically. You'll blow the
Some
economy
people,
in
yeah.
shambles.
There's some people that don't even have close to 500K.
Bro,
Yeah, I can't even
have-
afford a house yet, so you
I have
know.
40K on
I-
my Civ and I grind daily, and I have 14,000 now, and I put it out. And you can understand, I'm in here every day grinding,
Yeah.
and I own a piece of shit car that goes 90.
But
I don't because you got to think also others as well. We don't want to inflate the economy to the point where they have all this money and then they're gonna be discouraged to play and all that. We want people to stick around.
I
So
can tell you, nobody has over a mil.
essentially, if we give, we're essentially giving fuck you money is how it's realistically said. We don't want to give fuck you money. You know what I mean? We want to make sure it's fair for both parties.
Yeah.
So-
My
And
offer
we also don't want it to be an exorbitant amount to where
Yeah.
people start suing for
left
every
and
little
right,
tiny
and then
thing.
we're
Yeah.
then we're
And
in
my-
here every other day and
my-
doing nothing but cases.
the numbers I had said already were actually aiming really
Way
low,
lower.
like
Yeah,
le-
so you
lower.
guys should be lucky that I
Yeah.
came and talk to her because
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah,
it
'cause
was-
I was-
What were your numbers?
well,
So so at first, because obviously with Charles and Dimitri, they didn't get hurt. It was more just a violation that happened, or just not really following the
I
proper
thought he
steps
couldn't
of
receive
protocol.
compensation because he's not on the docket.
So that was my fault. That was my fault. Yeah, I thought it was mainly just going to be Noah and Charles. I totally forgot that Dimitri was going to be here as well, so that's why I didn't include him. It totally slipped my mind. But I was aiming really low. So for compensation for him flying out of the vehicle at least one time, and also the negligence of not properly seating him in the vehicle when transporting, that was going to be 30,000 for him. And then the other two were going to receive 15,000, just as like, you know, a lesson to the PD for not following protocol exactly that as they should. So they can get some
Okay.
form of compensation. But Tay came and talked to me, and we're gonna do 75 for Noah, and then 45 for the other two.
Okay, that's the guaranteed max, no matter what.
That's the. We're not going any higher. We're not gonna go lower than
Okay.
that. But
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
70. What the numbers?
75 for the max person, and then 45 for the other two.
Yep.
Max person
Okay.
being Noah, correct?
Yeah, being
Yep.
Noah. Yeah, because he suffered the most out of this case.
And then what? And then it's gonna be Charles and Sean. And you said what was the max? 45.
45. Yeah.
All right, I can explain that to them real quick.
Okay.
All right, then just have them come back in here so we can wrap this up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready with the final statement.
All right, let's.
Yeah, I'd say we should probably close it out first and then
Well,
bring it
not
back.
like a final agreement thing. Man, taking this, how I took this thing on 2 hour notice, man. I feel like I didn't do that bad. I tried.
No, you did. You actually did pretty good. You did really
I was-
well.
I was up on my Harvey Specter vibes, you know.
Yeah, because you, right, suits. Right.
I tell you, yes, sir.
Yeah, because there was some things that I was taking notes the entire time for this, and there was some things I jotted down, and there was definitely some things that you pointed out that I just I stroked from the record because of just how well you were questioning the witness, especially about the Miranda rights thing. I think it was really well done. So,
Alrighty, so fellas, this is Mr. Noah. Are you present here?
Yes, I am.
So this is what we are going to offer you. We're going to offer you.
Hold on a second. Is this the right way to do this?
45,000 for
we
me
want
by
they
flying out
just
of a
had, they
windshield.
wanted to ask something. Oh,
Oh shit. Okay, sorry. Ask you guys. Or oops,
I
sorry.
can't. Hold on. I got this fucking radio.
Sorry about my language, fellas.
Here we
What's
go.
up?
I mean, we're all, filthy talkers. It's okay. We understand.
Yeah, I try to be polite.
Yo,
you know?
me too, man. It's so hard.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't be polite sometimes. This comes out. You know what I mean?
yep.
What did you guys
Just
need to
don't get on my
ask?
bad side, because I'll kick you out.
Oh, that's
I
okay.
don't
Then
plan
I'll
on
kick
being
you
on
out
your
my.
bad side.
I'll kick you out my hood.
Hey, Sean, while they're
Oh,
talking, do
okay.
you want to go over some more offers real quick? Or do you?
they
Sean?
wanted to ask him something.
Oh.
Sean.
Or Wilkes, sorry. God.
I say that.
all
I
good,
say
all
that
good.
guy's gone.
All right. So what's going on? What are we doing? We need to wrap this up. People are waiting, and everyone needs to. This has been like two and a half hours. I feel like.
No, it's
Yeah, it's
only
been a while.
been a little over an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it has. I guess I.
I feel like I've been here
can't
all
read
day.
a
It
clock.
probably feels longer than
Yeah,
it, but
it
We're also
has.
going through the growing pains of it just being the first case too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right, so ask what you guys wanted to ask.
So, like
My life's only worth
75K?
45K.
Yeah, 75K for an officer not putting a seatbelt on me seems kind of extreme.
I mean, I
it's
think
kind of low.
that's
It's
I
a
think that's
violation. I mean, it's only a violation to the officer. You know what I mean? It's a safety
I mean, yeah,
violation.
but
That's
it
kind of
put
what the
my
judge was saying.
I mean,
put
that
my life
also
in severe
includes
danger.
it includes your damages to your person as well. So, I mean, I was aiming lower. So you
Yeah, you guys should
yeah.
be lucky. She was thinking like 30K for each of you.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah, I was aiming
Can we
lower.
do 80K? I'll do 80.
Whoa.
Sure. Well, yeah, sure. We'll do. I mean,
Yeah.
only for the whoever's number one. I mean, if you
It's
want
gonna be-
5K
no,
more, then sure.
Yeah, Noah
Yeah.
suffered the most damages, so he will receive the
All right, so
highest
no, you can
compensation.
get 80K.
That'll work.
All right.
All right, I'll go with that.
So
We're
what
gonna
Well,
go
it's
in.
only
just
worth 45K. Okay.
We'll just come
45.
to an agreements. Noah, you'll get 80K. Charles and Sean will get
Nope.
45K.
Nope.
I mean, you could say no, but this is how it's going to be.
That's
So.
gonna how it's go. But a retraining will be done, and Gingy will go in front of a board of appeals or the
All right,
board of the
come on.
Alright, that'll work.
Oh.
Just accept it for now. You're good.
Everyone's gone.
they're all standing outside.
Oh, okay. I'll wait for them to come back in.
Let's go over like the PA in Discordia. Not tonight. We're gonna end recess.
45K and I'm getting
Oh, okay.
20K.
You know, it's whatever. It's the worst case.
That's crazy.
I went to the bank real quick and I took out the cash.
That's wild.
Shit, we all getting paid. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you just take a seat. We'll finish this up.
Yo, let's have like a deal for PDM after what's this called? After court case deal, bro. Come on, man. Call me a fucking entrepreneur.
We're ready, Your Honor.
Can somebody let Charles back into the courtroom? That has keys.
We need to let the civilians back in the courtroom because it's over. Recess is over.
Thank you.
Yeah, recess is over, everybody. You can come on in.
What the?
Yo, EXO, did your phone buzz?
Hey, can someone unlock the front door?
Your Honor, I think that's everyone coming. All the doors are unlocked, and I don't really see anybody.
All right, that's fine. I'll wait till everyone gets seated. All right, is that everybody? Looks like it. All right, recess has ended. Is there anything else that both parties would like to go over before we proceed?
No.
Negative, Your Honor.
Okay. So during recess, I have looked over and have taken notes over the evidence that has been presented to me today. And I do have no doubt in my mind that obviously there was some negligence on LSPD's side for not securing Mr. Noah Jackson in the vehicle at that point in time. We did strike the second crash that did occur at that time, but with the first crash being on the record, I do think that he does deserve some compensation for the injuries and for the negligence that happened at that point in time. And in terms of Mr. Dimitri and Mr. Charles Jackson, in terms of the Miranda rights, it is true that even if they were to answer the questions, that it would not be admissible. But I do think that because of protocols not being taken correctly by LSPD, I think that they also deserve compensation. So with that being said, I will grant Mr. Noah Jackson in the amount of $80,000 in compensation, and for both Mr. Charles Jackson and Mr. Dimitri, $45,000 for the Miranda rights violation.
Yep, they don't care about our lives around here. That's crazy.
Fucking bullshit.
Get out of my courtroom. Get out of my
I will
courtroom.
gladly.
That is my decision, and court is now adjourned.
Thank you, Your Honor.